All right, good afternoon. Or well, good evening. It's like 7:40. Anyway, been pretty much goofing off and working out here on the edible pond, the edible landscape, the garden, and been planting things all around the pond, and nothing is planted that is not edible. It is all edible. And I got to mortar all my pavers in, as you can see, and it looks pretty decent. Next pond I will do things different. I learned a lot on this one, a lot of things that you probably shouldn't do, and of course I did it without consulting anybody. I didn't even YouTube it, Google it. And I should have. I should have done that. But anyway, I wanted it how I wanted it, and that's how I did it. It turned out very good, very good. Uh, Next, when we move, I will build another one a little bit bigger than that, and probably have two if it's on a hill. There'll be one here and then one down here, and I will do it different. I will do it different. But anyway, it still turned out decent. Well, good. It turned out actually very good, and it is very good for what it is. It has nothing to do with beauty, although it does look very nice. It has nothing to do with that. That's not why I did it. I did it to grow fish. I did it to grow fish, and hopefully we'll be able to turn it into some type of aquaponics. Uh, well, I mean, it's just two of us that eat fish, so I don't need a ton of fish in there, but I've got 10 brim in there now, and I'm hoping to aerate it enough and get a bigger pump, a better pump, and do enough filtering that I could hold maybe 40 fish. We'll see. I'm going to go at it slow. The 10 are doing very good at what we have right now, and so I'm going to quadruple it and try to get 40 fish in here. We will see. Anyway, put a little fence up. You can see the little fence, barely see it. Put that fence up today. It's just a cheap little fence. Spent about $20 on it, and it goes as two sections, and it goes all the way around. I Up against the fence every 3 to 4 inches. I've got peas growing, planted, the seeds planted, and then about every 4 foot, that's all the way around, except for the very back. The back, we've got the garden, so I didn't put anything over there. Stuff will be coming up anyway. So, anyway, peas all around. And then I've got cantaloupe about every 3 feet. And I'm going to try to get the cantaloupe to, follow along the pool and stay close to the pool. What else do I have? Every 3 feet, I have a sunflower, a mammoth Russian sunflower. So we'll see how that does. So, like I said, everything here will be edible. I don't get into the beauty thing. I want it to be functional and edible. So we got basil, and then a raspberry, and I will be doing a blackberry here and a blackberry over there. So we got raspberry, and then I have a goji berry. I bought the raspberry. The goji berry I've had for about 4 years in a pot, and that will wind its way around on the fence. Now I dug the American Beauty berry up. The berry is edible. I dug the American Beauty berry up, and I don't know if it's going to survive. I dug it up out of the front yard. I don't think it's going to make it, but if it doesn't, I will put something else there, something edible. All right, we've got blue violet. I transplanted it, dug it up from over there, put it here. Now that has a better chance of survival, but that may not make it either. I will put something else in its place if it doesn't. All right, so the Oregon grape. Berries are edible. The root is medicinal. That I had in a bucket for about 5 years, and it got ate up with ants. And so I pulled it out of the bucket about 2 weeks ago, threw it on the ground, doused it with savan dust, and left it there to die. Well, I looked at it today and it's still living and it still has berries. The berries are good. And I'm like, okay, whatever. So I planted it and it will do good for sure. All right, so I got muscadine vine. I got them in the water and hoping that they will root. And once they root, I'll bury them, plant them. They may not do good, but that's okay. I've got plenty of muscadine around here. I will put a blackberry right here and let it wind its way on the fence along with the muscadine. And if the muscadine dies, it dies. And this is a thorny olive. It's in the autumn olive family. And not all thorny olives produce berries, but they are good. Autumn olive, thorny olive, Russian olive, all good. And they produce an edible berry. I don't know if this one will produce a berry or not. We will see. Anyway, looking for an autumn olive, and I will plant it as soon as I find one. Anyway, that's it. In a couple of months, this will be flourishing and be very edible. You'll be able to come out and get your fish for dinner, your peas, cantaloupe for dessert. Anyway, that is it. Birds already on the bird feeder is funny. Already, it's crazy. Let's go over here. Raspberry. I've never done good with cantaloupe, and I've got a ton of it planted this year. We'll see. We'll see how it does. Anyway, that is it. You can see where I put the rocks in over here, right here. I'm going to build it up a little more. Then I will be putting this thing on top, and then I'll have another bowl type thing right here, which both of them will be surrounded with rocks so that you don't see them. But I'll put another one here, and so this one will flow into this one, and then this one will flow into the pond. That's later. I've got to find the right rock, figure out exactly what I want to do there. Just not sure. Anyway, I want to encourage you to be sustainable, self-sufficient, self-reliant, and independent. Please start working towards that wherever you are. I don't care if you're in an apartment. Start it now. Start it now. Buy you 20 Home Depot buckets. 20 Home Depot buckets and start planting stuff. You do about 6 in fruit trees. That way you can take them with you when you go. And do the rest in whatever you like. Tomato plants or whatever. Anyway, that's it. Man, there's some pretty cardinals, a male and female, that they're the first ones I've seen. I've seen them about 3 or 4 times today eating off of that feeder. But I've been out here all day digging up plants, replanting, planting seed, mortaring these pavers in. This was my first pond. I didn't study it out. I didn't YouTube it. And I usually will YouTube something over and over again. If I'm attempting to do something that I've never done, I will watch others do it. That's the best way to learn. And I didn't do it on the pond. I did not do it. and just come out here and dug a hole, and halfway got the surface fairly level. It's not perfect, but you can't tell it. And there's one spot that if you look real close you can see, but once everything starts growing, and once I get the waterfall situated and all, you won't even notice anything. So anyway, learned a couple of things. My next pond, which will be on my next house, if not in Tennessee, the next one will be done a little different, and that's for sure. But it can be done way better. This is excellent for what I need it for. Excellent, and it looks good. I mean, this looks halfway decent. It doesn't look bad at all. So, so that's that. I mean, you can't complain about this one. Almost everything was free. Not the liner and not the pump, but the lights and the pavers, that sort of thing. So anyway, turned out really good. I'm very happy with it, and not finished with it. And it will serve a good purpose. It will serve its purpose, and that is to supply me with fish. I don't need a ton. Anyway, friends, hey, I hope you're walking and working towards that self-reliant, self-sufficient lifestyle. It's an absolute must. And do something like this. Do something like it. It's nice to have. It looks good. It's just so nice to have. I think I'm going to. I think I might wood chip this area here, because from here over is my salad mix, my lettuces and stuff, and then they are already coming up. So that's garden, that's food. So I think I'll wood chip this right in through here if I can get it to look decent, and then maybe I would chip around the whole thing and not get into my food. We'll see. And then grow grass everywhere else. I got to get grass planted in here, or it's just the rain's going to just wreak havoc. We'll see, though. We'll see. Anyway, first time turned out good, especially for the first time. And man, I told my wife I'm so excited to have me an area that is just food. It'll look good. It'll give us exercise, keep us busy, and produce food. Give us some security. Anyway, friends, hey, listen, you need to take some big steps. You need to take some big steps toward a more self-reliant lifestyle, more independent. It's absolutely necessary, believe it or not. Believe it or not, good times don't last forever, and I will be making a major step within a week or two, and I haven't even talked about it with anybody, and it is to bring more security to the family and help us be more independent and prepare for what is coming. And please don't be blind. Please put eye salve on your eyes so that you can see. Unstop your ears so that you can hear what is coming down the pipe. My, can you not hear the freight train coming? It's coming, friends. We're going to live in a world in constant crisis. And so why would you not want to be more independent? Be prepared, be self-reliant, at least more so than what you are now. And start doing these things. Look, listen to me. I did the pond. Okay, first time ever. I made some mistakes. And now I know the next pond what not to do. You learn from your mistakes. So get the mistakes out of the way. I'm trying out these muscadine vines like I am here. may or may not work. Get your mistakes out of the way. Get these out of the way. And then teach your children. Teach your children what not to do. First, you got to make the mistakes, and then you can teach others, hey, don't do this. Do it this way. You don't want to wait until you have to depend on your hands to keep you alive. In other words, have to depend on, your garden to keep you alive. You don't want to wait and learn then. No, you don't want that, friend. I was talking to my wife, and it is crazy that just not too long ago, when and just listen, just not too long ago, it's just been in recent times that we've been able to walk out the front or back door, so walk out the door of our homes and think about whatever we want. Think about vacation, think about work, think about this, think about that. We don't walk out that back door and think about life or death. We think about hopping in a swimming pool, sitting out in the sun, getting a suntan, washing the car. That's what we think about. But for thousands of years, for thousands and thousands of years, up until just recent, when folks walked out that door, especially their back door, the thought that entered their mind was, oh my, the garden looks great. The animals are producing milk. Awesome. We are going to make it. We're going to live. Or maybe they would walk out that back door and say, oh my, if that cabbage and corn doesn't grow, we'll never make it through the winter. Oh, if them goats continuously get sick, we're finished. We're done. Yeah, that was their worry of the day. Not should I go to Miami or Daytona? Miami or Daytona this week? No. Life and death when they walked out that door, friend. They didn't have a choice. And if we ever go back to that, which we will one day, maybe not me, but my grandchildren or great-grandchildren, and if we ever go back to that, friend, we want to be ready. We want to have the mistakes out of the way. We want to already be producing. So anyway, hated to get on that, but that is something that needs to be got on, and you don't hear enough people talk like that. Anyway, maybe that's why I don't get any views. All my views come from septic stuff. But nobody's interested in wild edibles and fish ponds and that sort of thing. They're just not. Nobody's interested in hearing somebody talk about, doing things the Creator's way. Nobody really cares about all that. And some do, but most don't. And that's okay. So anyway, that's it. Just food. You're looking at food, nothing else. Just food. We'll see you.